Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Wallace here with SovietCraft, bringing you another episode of How to Feed the Beast. This episode, I'll be talking about how to generate EU for industrial craft electricity in the FTB Modpack. Pretty much all of them have IC2 installed, so should be helpful. Anyway, the most basic of generators is just called the generator. It comes standard with IC2, and it takes pretty much anything, coal, and anything that says can produce, and pretty much all these things it will burn up and make into EU. They have little tooltips telling you what value they'll give you, and it tells you what to burn it in. So not everything that can be burned in here, mostly wood things, wooden objects, and like coal and stuff. Alright, let's carry on. So that's a generator. It produces 10 EU per tick. Pretty standard early game, just burning coal generally is what you do, or wood. It's not efficient. Alright, now let's go to the geothermal generator. This bad boy produces 20 EU per tick. You can place lava here, or you can pump it into the bottom, I believe, and it'll give you 20 EU per tick, and it's pretty good, pretty efficient, not a very expensive recipe. Then we have the water mill. It is not very efficient. If you give it a bucket, it will provide you with 1 EU per tick, but if you place any kind of container like a can or a capsule that destroys the container, then it will produce 2 EU per tick. And you can pump things into the bottom. You can't pump fluid into the bottom, you can only pump containers into the bottom, so that you don't make free energy. As you can see here, it's 2 EU per tick. That is if you destroy the containers that are made of tin. Next, we have the windmill, which is all the way up yonder there, and it has a rather low output, and it depends on height. So the higher you place it, I believe there's like a math equation involved, which I did not calculate. But either way, it's not very high output, and not very efficient. I would not recommend it. Then there is the solar panel, which generally provides 1 EU per tick, and it is pretty standard IC2 solar panel, not too difficult. Next, from one of the mods, whichever one is called like the solar panel something mod, it introduces this, which is the advanced solar panel, the hybrid solar panel, and the ultimate hybrid solar panel. These are really cool because this produces 8 EU per tick, this produces 128, and this one produces an entire 512 EU per tick. So, as you might assume, the difficulty of the recipe definitely increases as these go by, so keep that in mind. But this one is very efficient. As you can see here, I had it running for not so long and it's almost full. So that is neat. Next, we have a nuclear reactor. I just set up a random thing so that it won't blow up. It has coolant cells and it has quad uranium cells, and it's activated with a redstone signal. Generally, you would want to have another reactor chamber here, but I just didn't do that. So I can see the green here, meaning that it's on. It produces a varying amount of EU, as you can see here, but it really is a crap ton though, because look at that, 1,118. But that is if you go all out and just drop a crap load of uranium cells. And also it can't go into a MFSU. Normally I had to place a bunch of them and place a transformer right there. Next up, we have the steam turbine from Railcraft. And it produces a whopping 100 EU per tick. As you can see here, it fills up pretty quickly. Pretty nice. Nice stuff. And the way you do that is by having a boiler, a steam boiler that is, You can have either liquid or solid fuel boxes in the bottom, and low or high pressured steam boilers, I think, the blocks in the top. Either way, you gotta pump in the fuel and the water, which I have a setup for here and here. And as this produces steam in here, it will pump it out into the steam turbine, and it will rotate this turbine rotor and produce a whopping 100 U per tick. That's right. Then we have the biofuel generator, which just the biogenerator, and it produces a 16 EU per tick, and it is from forestry, and it uses forestry biofuel. I think it also uses biomass, but it is less efficient when you use biomass. I think it's less EU per tick, so you should probably just use biofuel. It's much better. Next, we have the lightning rod from Reactor, and it produces a freaking quad extreme voltage per strike. It's 8,192 EU every time a lightning strikes this structure, and the structure is iron fences, so just have a one of these blocks in the bottom, the lightning rod, and then just all the way to the top, just make iron fences. That's how the pros do it. And I just have a bunch of transformers everywhere to distribute the power, even though that's not necessarily entirely necessary. But I think you just need 4 and then just 1 MFSU. Anyway. Actually, I'm not even sure if MFSU will accept that because it's so extreme, but probably. Anyway, so next we have the gas turbine, which produces 16 EU per tick, and it accepts either hydrogen or methane cells, or the gaseous form. You can pump it in, I believe, and then it'll just produce energy for you from that. From Reactor. All the rest of these are from Reactor. Next, we have the thermal generator, which produces more, I believe, 24 EU per tick. It's more than the geothermal from the vanilla IC2, and it produces 50 more EU per bucket. So it produces EU at a higher voltage, more per tick, and it, I guess, takes more time to use up the lava cell. So it pretty much makes more energy per unit of bucket of lava or can of lava. Next, we have the semi-fluid generator, which pumps out 8 EU per tick, and it uses a variety of things such as seed oil, creosote oil, biomass, even sodium and lithium and oil. And as you can see here, it tells you how much EU you'll get per thing, per bucket. So it's kind of useful. It's efficient in a way, but it takes a long time to produce energy, even though these things do produce a lot of energy. And these are mostly, half of these at least, are forestry or BuildCraft things. So that's another way to convert power from BuildCraft to BuildCraft from the BuildCraft mods. Now another thing that's 8 EU per tick is the diesel generator, and it can run on biofuel cells. These are the IC2 ones that I don't know who uses the coal fuel, the biofuel, liquid nitro coal fuel, which I have no idea what that is, fuel bucket, and nitro diesel. So yeah, just I believe the fuel is the most efficient. It runs slowly, but it produces a significant amount of energy, so that's useful. Next, we have the doesn't have a name here, but it is the Reactor. I believe it is the dragon egg something. One sec. I should have prepared for this. Dragon egg energy siphon. Basically what you do is you place a dragon egg on top, an ender dragon egg that is, And what happens after that is magic. Holy crap, 128 EU per tick. Seemingly, there's no drawback because the ender egg stays there and it doesn't break if you pull out more energy from it. But if we apply these little bastards, holy crap, do you see this in the corner? Dangerous flux. Flux is at dangerous levels, so it will give off flux if you have SovietCraft installed, but if you do not have SovietCraft installed, it does not have any repercussions according to the wiki and according to experience, which is just reading the wiki. Second to last here, we have the free infinite energy block, which is the quantum generator. That's kind of what it is. It's just like an admin block. There's no recipe for it, and it will pump. I mean, not pump, but it will create as much energy as you want it to, and you'll be happy. Moving on, we have the last thing, which is the fusion reactor, which needs coils set around it in this fashion that you see here. You can look at it now, and break this, or you can look on the wiki, and then you have to place your fusion reactor in the middle, and supply it with some recipes, which is this stuff, whatever. You can find it by yourself, and what's important about this is you have to provide it with a huge amount of energy, and after that it will produce energy for you. After a certain amount of ticks, I guess, yeah. And sometimes it's not worth. Doesn't produce more EU than it takes. Sometimes it takes more EU than it provides. For example, if you're trying to get iridium by fusing materials like wolframium and lithium, pretty much, yeah. Sometimes it can be used to create things and it draws energy out, but sometimes it produces a crap ton of energy. So keep that in mind. These have been the generators for industrial craft energy. If I missed anything, well, then shame on me. And hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please like, favorite, subscribe. If you choose to do so, there's a squid orgy. And subscribe and watch my videos. I'm going to be uploading more and making more tutorials. Tell your friends and your grandma. Thank you. This is Bros Wallace signing off.